Hey guys, I'm going to do a little video today in response to some questions that I've had about what kind of sealers that we use for our colored concrete, our stamped concrete, also what kind of sprayers that we use. What we use for sealer, and I only use one kind of sealer, it's a high gloss acrylic. This is from Butterfield. It's called Clear Guard. It's at 25% solids, so it is considered a cure seal. We don't spray anything different on if it's just colored. I know some guys will use a cheaper water base for just a colored concrete and then go to a high gloss for something stamped. We do everything the same, just so I don't have to mess with different buckets and things like that. This one here comes out really super high gloss. I typically, on something stamped, I'll go ahead and stamp, and then we'll seal the same day with this after everything is dry. 3 times. I put 3 light coats on there, and it comes out very high gloss. It's really good stuff. Now the sprayers that we use, I only use Chapin sprayers. In the past, I would buy these red ones. They're about $15 or $20 cheaper than the gray, the more industrial ones. The biggest difference between the two is that the red ones do not have a filter in the bottom, which is not that big a deal if you weren't working with sand. What happens is the sand will get in the top, and then once you open it to put more sealer in, some of those particles of sand get down in the bottom, and then they end up plugging the tip. And when you're spraying curb, you know, it's not a real fun thing to have to clean the tip out and get that all over your hands. So this one does have a filter. You can buy a filter separately and put it in here, but it's about the same cost as just buying a good one to begin with. Now what we do is I change out the handles that come with that into a little bit better handle. For me, it's just a little bit easier to spray, easier to control. It seems like the spray is a little bit better. So basically, that's what we do with that. Some guys are asking me about how you clean your sprayers every time you get done spraying and whatever else. We don't clean our sprayers every single time. Typically, we'll probably clean the sprayer maybe 3 times in a whole season. If your sealer is inside the container and it's closed and sealed up and tightened, that's no different than having your seal basically in the can closed up and tightened. So there's no use pouring that all back out. I know some guys empty the whole thing back into the bucket. They'll take their xylene, they'll clean everything out, and then the next time they'll pour it back in and so on. That's not something that you have to do. What we'll typically do is, 2 or 3 times a year, you take this rubber seal out, take some xylene, clean all that so there's nothing inside there, because sometimes when you tighten that, it'll lose the seal. Inside the front lip of this, you'll get all sorts of dried sealer in there. Take your xylene, clean that out. When it's nice and clean, that'll seal up really good. We don't do anything to the bottom. As long as that's closed up all the time and not dry, it's going to be perfect. You can get seal kits to replace on these. But again, if you take that big seal out and don't get it wet with xylene, it's not going to dry out and actually destroy it faster. When we get to a job site, and people ask us, well, if you're not cleaning it out every time, you're going to have all sorts of sealer in your tip and things like that. When you get done with your job and everything's done sprayed, take out the air, okay, just release the air, hold this up in the air, and go ahead and open it up. So all that sealer that's in the hose will go back down in. Now when we start the job, and I know it's stamped or colored, what I'll do is I'll take my sealer out. I always have a can of xylene on the trailer, and all I do is just open up the xylene, and I take the tip, and I just stick it right into the can and just leave it. So it could be 2 hours later that we're done with the job, we're going to go ahead and start sealing. I'll take that out. That xylene has dissolved everything off the end that might plug it up. Okay, you don't have anything left in the hose that'll gunk things up in there. If you do forget to release the air pressure out of the hose and it sits for a few days, this will get it'll get really thick like syrup, and it'll have to spray out of there before you get to the good stuff that's on the bottom. So always release the air pressure, and so that will all go back down to the bottom. You don't have to clean out your can every single time you spray. That's just time that you don't have to use. So I hope that helps you. Again, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and give me a call at Borderline. If not, see ya.